What did you think about Ryback? You said you wanted to have a little discussion about Ryback today.
First of all, I'm not a big fan of Ryback, but there's no similarities to Goldberg at all. I mean, so the Goldberg chants already are old, and 50% of guys in wrestling and sports in general are bald. 50% have facial hair. The guy is much more built than Goldberg ever was.
And 98% of them have
testicles. He's slow and
testicles.
He's methodical, Ryback. He's not, high impact moves, but not high energy. It's a different style. It's like saying, the powers of pain wrestle like, the Ultimate Warrior. It's a different style of power. It's completely different. It's a different, like I said, Sid and Kevin Nash didn't wrestle the same. I don't know, people just it's so easy for wrestling fans to do these comparisons of everybody to everybody, but it's just like, I don't see the Goldberg thing. It's old already, and the chants are irrelevant in my opinion.
Well,
I don't think it's not going to derail the push of this guy. They're only going to keep pushing him. I think WWE is behind this guy 100%.
Well,
so to be honest with you, he's far stronger than Goldberg is. He's much more powerful. So it's a different style. Bald head goatee, that's 50% of the roster. So I don't see. It's Kurt Angle. I don't get it because he's bald. So what? So why don't we just chant Kojak? What's the difference? I don't see any similarities to Goldberg at all. None. None.
I totally disagree with you because
what similarities does he have to Goldberg?
Well, I'll tell you. Well, let me just bring up another person.
He doesn't wear the outfit Goldberg. Well, just like Goldberg and Austin, I didn't see any similarities between the two. Black trunks, black boots. Dick Slater wore that too. Adrian Adonis wore that when he was at East West Connection. The wrestling fans got to knock it off with the stupidity. Really, that's why it's annoying to be a wrestling fan. Just stupid. Well, Ryback has nothing in common with Goldberg. Nothing.
Well,
nothing.
Let me.
I got news for you. Ryback has paid more dues in developmental than Goldberg ever did.
Well, let me bring up Mason Ryan. Mason Ryan, everybody got wet about his power, and what happened? He was sloppy as shit.
He is nothing like, once again, because we want to go on a thing.
No, I'm not comparing him to Mason Ryan. I'm just saying that
Skip Sheffield has been here for several years. He was here before NXT. I'm not a big fan, but he's not. It's just saying something to say something. It's saying something for the sake of saying something. Is Big Show anything like Andre the Giant?
I'm not trying to compare.
No, but I'm saying, is Big Show and Andre the Giant the same?
No, but I'm not comparing to Mason Ryan.
They're giants, but it's different styles. Don Leo Jonathan was a giant. Like I said, wrestling fans they get on this thing where everyone, if there's a little similarity, it's a copy, it's a this, it's a that. It's consistent, and that's why it's annoying to be a wrestling fan.
Well, let me say this. The only reason why I brought up Mason Ryan is to say that sometimes strength is a detriment to somebody. But as far as the comparisons to Goldberg, I'll tell you why they're chanting Goldberg, and I'll tell you why I relate to the people chanting Goldberg.
They're doing it because they have nothing else to do.
No, I think of Goldberg too.
They've been told to do it.
Because
it's completely Look what CM Punk tonight said, goat face or whatever he called the guy, and now they're chanting that. Now if you analyze it and say, it's kind of a dumb put-down, goat face. Am I really going to... Wrestling fans are so stunad that they just repeat back like a parrot about stuff. People still saying what?
Yeah, but
for what? Austin hasn't been here in years, and it's been irrelevant in years. That's why wrestling fans, they feel they have to do that. Well, the fans who, jump on the gravy train. The Albert thing you understand because he is Albert. That is Albert. That's why they're cheering Albert. And Tenzai is going over like a fart in church. That's why they're chanting Albert.
Right,
saying, listen, go back to being Albert. We're not buying Tenzai.
Right.
But to compare someone to someone else who's not even here, who didn't even make an impact in WWE, by the way, Goldberg. He was here for 9 months. Is stupid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The guy, just like with the guy who looks like Cena but doesn't wrestle like him at all. Who's that guy in the tag team who has a face like John Cena? Black John Cena?
Darren Young.
Yeah, he doesn't. He just looks like him. But that's wrestling fans have to get on. Oh, he's a Cena clone. He's a black Cena. Wrestles nothing like him. Talks nothing like him. It's just a consistent thing that wrestling fans have to do. Someone new comes in, they can't give him a chance. They have to compare him to somebody else. That's why they're never going to develop new stars that way.
Yeah. But
it's amazing. CM Punk. Thank God there wasn't another straight edge wrestler. Or you have to live that down from somebody else who used the word straight edge, because then you'd have to be someone else said straight edge already. Wrestling fans have to just judge people on individual merits alone. Stop comparing everybody. Everybody's an angle. This guy's Brock Lesnar wannabe. This. It's wrestling. And how many characters do you think there are? How many? Just like when you go to a movie, a lot of people say George Clooney's a Paul Newman ripoff. So you know what I mean? It's just like we can go on for days doing that. Big Show's out. We'll want to be Andre the Giant. This one, same shit over and over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is the reason why I actually relate to the people chanting Goldberg. First off,
because you like to do it just like they do.
No. When he first comes out, I mean, he does the same psych job to psych himself up, and then he comes down to the ring. And then what happens is once he gets in the ring, he gets like jobbers. And yes, Goldberg's opponents were much more name value than what he's got now.
Of course they were. No, it's a different gimmick.
But it's
a different gimmick. And Goldberg didn't take on two guys, and Goldberg could never, ever hoist up two guys like that and march around the ring with them. Couldn't do it.
I understand that, but the thing is that when he comes out, he psychs himself up. I mean, you look at Goldberg's entrance when he first comes out. All Ryback needs is the fucking sparklers, and it's
no, he doesn't. It's a completely different gimmick, and he's a different body type, different ring attire, different music.
I understand that, but the problem is that they're making him,
and he's not trying to be Goldberg.
I understand that, but they're making him too dominant with like a couple of power moves.
Well, look at the motherfucker. Could he be? How much more dominant can he be?
Brodus Clay did power moves too, and we never compared him.
Yeah, but Brodus Clay was a big fat guy. This is a guy in shape like you wouldn't believe.
I understand.
This guy's built like a fucking. I've never seen a guy built like this in years, including Batista. I haven't seen a physique like this in years. I mean, the guy is unbelievably. I mean, you could break a bat over him, and I think it would just crack. I mean, seriously, the guy's a fucking brick shithouse.
I understand.
You know, Mason Ryan was a pretty boy. This is a hideous-looking man who's pretty scary-looking, a la like a barbarian or somebody like that. He's not Ultimate Warrior. When you kind of looked at him, he's kind of a pretty boy when you think about it. You know what I mean? And then, you know, this guy, to me, I think if they just package him right, if anything, I think he needs more intense music. I'll be honest with you. And I think he needs a little more intensity in the ring, if anything. He is intense, but it's a different kind of intense. Like, he doesn't have to be like Warrior and run around the ring, even though it would be interesting if he did that. But he'd probably be gassed. He'd be gassed to the gills if he ran. He probably can't do that. But like I said, Goldberg was a spear guy, and Goldberg's matches, it was just a different program. They're going to continue this thing with the jobbers, and it's certainly not to get the jobbers over, but I think the WWE is behind this guy. I don't see any deep push of him anytime soon, despite what the audience is doing.
Well, I don't know. I like I said, when he first comes out, he does the same psych job like Goldberg.
Yeah, but a lot of wrestlers have done that. Goldberg was the first person to do that. A lot of guys. Missing Link used to do that when he came out.
When he does
go watch World Class tapes when Missing Link would come out and pull his head and bang it into the side of a wall. Is that the same? Is that intensity?
No, I know that.
I mean,
but when he
like
does,
I said, I mean, you know, look, the Road Warriors used to psych themselves, smack each other in the chest during interviews. You know, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, it's just a different form of something that's been done, but that's wrestling. You know what I mean? It's just that's wrestling. How many more new ideas are there?
But
you know?
when after
it's a
Ryback,
different take on something, and I just don't see the Goldberg comparison.
Well, after Ryback does a power move, what does he do? He does. It's like he looks at the crowd, psychs himself up, and he does like that finish him thing. And it just, if you look at Goldberg's matches and you look at Ryback's matches, it dictates the same way. Yes, the moves are a little bit different. Yes, the opponents are a little bit different.
They're very different.
Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, you got this big, powerful guy, psychs himself up before he comes out like Goldberg, goes in the ring, doesn't say anything, doesn't really show too much as far as mannerisms, does a couple of power moves, looks to the crowd, psychs himself up, then he's like, finish him, and then he does a finishing move similar to Goldberg's,
right.
You know, similar to the jackhammer, then he wins, and that's the end of it. And not only that, look at the length of the matches. If Ryback's
but that's to
matches,
get the character over. That's the same thing.
No, I know that,
you know what I mean?
But again, I go back to Bro.
So Scott Steiner wasn't copying superstar Billy Graham?
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, we look at Brodus Clay. Brodus Clay was having quick squash.
Brodus Clay is so much better off as the big, lovable dance with the kids in the ring.
Yeah, I agree.
The smartest thing they've ever done was him not being the one-man gang, instead turning him into the Godfather. It was much smarter to do that. He'll sell a lot more merch, and now even the girls are getting over in the back, the black girls. So, I mean, they went the right way with that character.
Yeah,
Brodus Clay.
And like
him to be a big, fat monster, yeah, one-man gang and Typhoon had a great career. As that. Until they turned goofy, no one even knew who they were.
And like Iffy in
the chat room. I'm telling you, Ryback, I think he's going to be champion.
Yeah, but like
I think he's going to be champion. I think he's going to come out. I think he's going to continue to come out, demolish people. He's going to get a big win over somebody in the next few weeks, and then I think he's going to come out on a pay-per-view and get the belt. And I wouldn't be shocked. WWE will do something like that and I'd like to see him do that just to fuck with the fans.
Well,
eventually he will get over. You put somebody out there week after week after week, he will get over.
Well,
it's not Mason Ryan. Mason Ryan has no chance of getting over. Mason Ryan, he looks like a gay stripper. Ryback looks like a badass. He's believable. Mason Ryan's not believable.
I don't see Ryback. Put it this way: until Ryback fights,
I'd say he's getting the belt next week. But if he gets on a tear and he comes out and he saves people, I think their best bet is to make him a gray area guy right now. Don't make him, if it gets too kind of convoluted, so to speak, make him go in and save CM Punk or something, and then get the fans on his side.
Yeah, they have Mason Ryan.
I think to make him a complete heel is probably not smart, because the fans will continue to do the stupid Goldberg chants. If he's a babyface, they won't do that. However, this guy looks like a mean son of a bitch. You can't make him a babyface. That would be out of desperation if they make him save.
You don't
CM
think
Punk
Ryback's a babyface?
What's that?
You don't think Ryback's a babyface?
No, he's a gray area right now. He's not a babyface. He's a gray area right now. He's a complete gray area guy. He's a heel. He's a tweener. He's not a babyface.
Well,
absolutely not.
Like someone in the chat room said before, Ryback says, "Feed me more," and Goldberg used to say, "Who's next?" I mean,
what? Scott Steiner is repeating what Jesse Ventura used to say in his promos. Jesse Ventura wore the same thing on his head in 1979. Hulk Hogan cut same promos. Dusty Rhodes and Superstar Billy Graham both give the same jive talk that fucking Jimmy Valiant does. Go look at the promos between the three, and they say the same thing. Well, it's the same thing. So, I mean, we could do this all day. Let's do 2 hours of this.
All I'll say is this, to finish
Powers
this
of Pain
up.
look like the Road Warriors. Exactly. Warlord looked just like Hawk. How did he have a career?
Well,
my God, how did that happen? How did the Powers of Pain have any success?
Let me put it like this.
Demolition is a ripoff of the Road Warriors. We could do this all night. Let's do it all night.
Until Ryback faces people more relevant.
They're doing this to him on purpose, though. They're doing this to make this silly thing with these dopey journeyman wrestlers to come out and cut these stupid promos, have Jerry Lawler goof on them. This is the gimmick, man. This is the gimmick.
But how could anybody say that they could see a champion in this guy where he's beating 130-pound guys?
Because that's the gimmick they're giving him right now. Because if he was beating established superstars, it would be too similar to Goldberg. They're trying to differentiate between the two. I see it. I don't know why you don't. I could totally see what they're doing.
But all I'm saying
Stevie Wonder can see it.
All I'm saying is that until I see Ryback, put it this way. Let me say it like this.
I'm not even a fan, but I'm totally defending the fact that wrestling fans just have to have a comparison. God forbid someone from the Olympics this year gets into wrestling next year. We'll chant Angle, even though he won't be anything like Angle.
Let me say it like this. All right, when Goldberg was first on his streak, the first thing that I thought to myself was,
Steve Austin.
No, I didn't think Steve.
Why
Austin.
not? That's what everyone else was saying. Black trunks, black boots, bald head, goatee, white man. Why not? Why is he not the same?
The first thing I said to myself was that I'm curious to see if this guy could go more than 3 minutes in a match. And I remember he took on, I think, Raven. And he actually went, I think, 6 or 7 minutes. Could have even been a little bit more. And I was very impressed with that. The reason why I bring that up is that until I see Ryback have a match against someone that's relevant, I don't mean Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins. I'm talking about somebody that he could stand toe-to-toe.
But they're going to decide that. It's not him. You're making like until he proves something. He's doing what they're telling him to do.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that when WWE puts him in the ring against someone that's relevant, somebody like a Tenzai or somebody like a Mark Henry.
He's relevant?
Well, it's not a Kurt Hawkins. Look, they feed Kurt Hawkins to fucking... they'll feed him to Vader. They'll feed him to Sin Cara. They'll feed him to Brodus Clay.
You're going to see Ryback beat somebody of substance. It's going to happen. You're going to see it.
Until
Who it's going to be, I don't know.
Until I see him...
It could be who's got a belt right now who's not a babyface.
Well,
who's got a belt that he could just demolish? Who's U.S. and Intercontinental champion?
Christian.
Isn't it sad we barely know?
Well, let me just...
I mean, shame on me. I don't even know.
Let me just... All I was finishing up was saying is that right now all his matches are one-sided. I want to see him have bigger competition, and then I'll judge him. Because Mason
All
Ryan,
right, I'm telling you, world title.
I hope I hope that he can stand toe to toe with bigger opponents.
I think he can. Look at the man. You don't think he can?
Well, look at what happened to Mason Ryan.
But you can't compare. But he's nothing like that because he's built. He's like Mason Ryan.
No, I'm not
comparing him to Mason Ryan. Does that make him Baryshnikov? I mean, what? I don't
look at Vladimir Kozlov.
I don't understand. I really don't. I don't get it. Kurt Angle is a Brad Rheingans ripoff because Brad Rheingans was in the Olympics and he did the same moves Kurt Angle did. I don't get this conversation.
Look at Vladimir Kozlov. Vladimir Kozlov in the beginning was destroying
once again, a different wrestler. What does that have to do with
I'm not comparing all of them. I'm just bringing up people that in the beginning they were beating the shit out of people, and then when they went toe to toe with relevant guys, they couldn't. Remember Vladimir Kozlov in the Elimination Chamber? He had no ring presence whatsoever.
I see a superstar in Ryback. I didn't see anything in Kozlov.
Right now, I don't see it.
I didn't see anything in Bully Bushik. I didn't see anything in Tony Helm. I didn't see anything in all the guys who went on to do nothing. Brockus. I didn't see anything in any of those guys, but I see something in Ryback, and we'll see who's right in 3 months.
Well, look, I hope that he does turn it around. I mean, so far
there's no turnaround. He's going there. I'm telling you.
I hope so.
It's a WWE. If the WWE screws this up, they screw it up. He's not injured yet, like another Alberto Del Rio, who's out again for another 9 months.
Look,
he's not injured yet. He's holding up. If he gets injured, that's his bad, and he'll get released. But if he stays in shape and he really keeps he's putting these guys through the mat. I'm surprised no one really got hurt yet from this guy. He's really stiff.
Yeah, I know.
So he's definitely doing the gimmick correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen guys this stiff since Bruiser Brody.
Yep.
But it depends on, like I said, where WWE, the writers go with this. Only they can screw this up. So far, he hasn't screwed up because he hasn't dropped anybody and he hasn't fucked up. And dude, let's face it, you have to admit too, kept picking up those two guys like that on live television, the fuck up chances are tremendous.
I agree.
And he hasn't, and hurting somebody is tremendous. So I'm surprised they're actually letting him do that all the time, and I'm shocked one of these kids are not hurt.
Well, that's the reason why they're feeding him nobodies, because they don't want their own roster to get hurt.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying to a point, but we can compare a lot of guys to a lot of guys.
Yeah.